Hello crafty friends, it's Jess from jesscrafts.com, and today I'm here with another one sheet wonder template and card sketch. If you head to the blog link in my video description, you can print out this PDF which shows you exactly how to cut your 6x6 paper, and it includes the card sketch which shows you how to assemble them. You could, of course, assemble it in a different way or maybe switch it to a portrait card over landscape, but I just kind of showed you what I was going to do with it. And I will show you me cutting and assembling the card, but you don't have to pay too much attention to all the measurements and stuff because you can just go get that PDF. There will also just be, simple pictures, but I do know that I have a card sketch binder, and so I like to just kind of print off PDFs of these different resources and collect them all together, so that's why I created one. I have this older Lawn Fawn pad, which is no longer available, and this happens to me all the time where I've used a pad. As you can see, I have a lot of scraps left of it. I liked it, but I didn't use it, and now it's not even available anymore, which is fine, but it's been a couple of years since I purchased it and I haven't used it up, so I thought it would be a perfect candidate for a one-sheet wonder. But also, in the past, when I've shown you one-sheet wonders, I have shown you them with double-sided paper. This Lawn Fawn pad is single-sided. So in order to mix up the patterns, what I'm going to do is normally you'd cut one piece of paper and get 2 cards with my templates. But today I'm going to cut 2 pieces of paper and get 4 cards so that I can mix up some of the patterns. If you didn't want to make 4 cards, if you just want the 2, I think that the sketch would still look good. The card design would still be fine with all of the pattern being the same. But I liked the idea of mixing it up for a little bit more interest. First, I started by cutting the 6x6 paper in half to 3x6. Then I cut 1.5 inch squares out of one complete side. The second side, you are going to cut some squares out of it, but you're also going to cut 2 rectangles. So you're going to take your 3x6, cut 1.5 by 3 off, 1.5 by 3 off, and then cut 4 1.5 inch squares from it. Again, don't need to worry too much about that because all the measurements are on my blog. I am always using cardstock to mat all the elements in my one-sheet wonders, and that's just because I feel like with only having the one pattern on them, the matting can help separate things and give them a little bit more of a substantial look. But this time, because of the card design, normally I would do a 1/4 inch mat, but I'm only doing 1/8 of an inch in the mat. Again, those measurements are on the blog, but you'll see that they're just maybe a little bit trickier. And I do them in decimals because the program that I create my templates in doesn't handle fractions very well. But for my 1.5 by 1.5 inch squares, which would be, so then you would cut a 1 5/8, 1/8 bigger square for the mat. And the same thing for the rectangle, it's going to be 1/8 of an inch bigger on both sides. Once I have all those pieces, and I need to cut out a lot of cardstock, the creation of the card creates no pattern paper scraps, but it does tend to create cardstock scraps. I personally am okay with this because I have many purposes for cardstock scraps, and also this particular template, I think that if you had pattern paper scraps or cardstock scraps, this one would actually be a good one to maybe try to use those up just because all of the shapes are pretty small. And I actually did use some scraps to cut out some of my mats, and I also used scraps to cut out my sentiment. So if you were taking a full sheet of paper to cut out, or a full sheet of cardstock to cut your mats, scraps could be used for things like cutting out your sentiment, or I like to take really small scraps and glue them together so that it creates like a thick, more chipboard thickness kind of piece. And I use that to pop up different elements, and I'll show you that in a moment. So here I'm adding my sentiment to the center, and I think if you took a word sentiment and placed it along the center there, you could be done with the card. So if you're ever in need of like a bunch of simple cards and relatively quick, I think this sketch really works out well for that, just because I don't think you need images and stuff to go with it, but I'm going to show you a little trick because I did want to add an image. I needed some little boy themed birth or thank you cards. essentially. And so that's what inspired this. And that's kind of why I chose the pattern papers I chose. So I chose like this light blue and light green from the Lawn Fawn. And I wanted to add a little cute critter to it. I'm going to be assembling them. I'm basically eyeballing how far apart things are, and I'm trying to make them look mostly lined up, of course. You could use a ruler, a straight edge, anything like that to make sure they're a little bit more exact, but I don't worry too much about that kind of thing just because to me it's a handmade card. So if it looks a little handmade, that's okay. So if you want it to be done in the super simplest card, stop there. But I wanted to show you a little idea that I had for using up more scraps. And if you want, so all the pattern paper has a mat on it. In this case, I wanted my image to have a mat and use paper piecing. So what I'm going to do is I have this Heffy Doodle Dino Time stamp set, and I picked the dinosaur that I felt like was the easiest to cut out, which in this case I think is the Triceratops. And I'm going to stamp it and use the coordinating dies. I don't have a lot of coordinating dies, but I happen to for this set. And I think that, you don't need the coordinating dies to do the technique that I'm about to show you. My scan and cut would cut with a border, and I could do the same thing. But since I had them, I worked with this set. I'm going to stamp the image 4 times because I'm going to make 4 cards, and I'm going to die cut them all. And it's going to leave a border around the image. You would not have to stamp them if you had the coordinating dies because you're going to cover all of this with the pattern paper in a moment. But if you're going to use a scan and cut or something similar, you would want to stamp them so that the scan and cut knows what shape to cut out. So I wanted to show it this way because I feel like this is like the simplest way to understand what I'm doing. And I also think it looks a little bit more finished because I'm going to fussy cut out these stamps when they're on pattern paper. And if I make some of my lines too thin and others thicker, having the black lines to put it over is going to help it look a little bit more finished. So now I'm taking other scraps from the pattern paper. So this works well if you have like little tiny scraps that you don't know what to do with. Basically stamping your critters on it so you don't have to color them can be really cute. And I think having this addition of the die cut around it gives it a little bit more something special. So, you'll see in a moment and see if this technique's for you. I stamped down 2 of them on this scrap, and I'm going to find other scraps to make it work. I fussy cut them along the black line. Again, I picked super easy ones so it wouldn't be too hard. And then I am just going to color in really briefly and just solid color a few of the details so they stand out a bit. In this case, his horn and his mouth. Then I'll take my Barely Arts glue, which I've been using this whole time because I find that it never wrinkles my paper. It holds really firmly. Because it's liquid, you get a second to kind of push things around before it holds really, really tight. So then I line it up over the black stamped image. And now I have a matted critter as well to go with all the other matting that is here on my card. And I'll put him in the top left corner because I think that's where he fits best. And I'll take 2 little scraps that I glued together and I'll use that to pop him up instead of using foam tape. Of course, you could just use foam tape, but I'm trying to always use as many scraps as I can. All right, so that's it for my card today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're interested in more crafting tutorials, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I will leave you links to the products that I used in the video description below, as well as to the blog post and page where you can find these templates and make use of them yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome day. Bye.